Table or truth?
But what else we got, man? That was a good one.
We got Clarence Thomas. So the latest on Clarence Thomas, I thought ProPublica, who's been outing him the last 6 months, we have another one last week where Clarence Thomas, at least on 2 occasions, attended Koch network donors events. Now, the Koch brothers, one that passed away, but
they're kind of like the Bogendas, but more like
right, billion-dollar industrialists who
they're the real Clinton twins. Wow,
who have been supporting right-wing causes and have a plethora of court cases, mainly dealing with trying to get rid of regulations, safety regulations, and other restrictions, along with supporting the Republican Party.
So they're Rhino Republicans.
Well, if I remember correctly, and don't quote me on this, I thought they didn't have a whole lot of love for Trump.
They sound like Rhino Republicans.
Republicans are Republicans. Well, there's two sides. I apologize. Not true. There are Republicans who are true conservatives,
right,
and then there's MAGA. Those are the only two.
Exactly. Well, there's true conservatives in the typical deep state sort of rich elite sense of George W. Bush.
Really?
Look the other way. We're going to invade Iraq, destroy the.
Was President Trump a conservative?
He was more liberal at one point. No, look. Okay, I'm just going to say it. Here's how I view President Trump. Everybody's been waiting for this one, right?
Okay.
All right. Vulgar man, yes, no doubt about it. If I may quote the movie Amadeus that came out, remember that 1984?
I do remember.
It's a really good movie.
As a matter of fact,
Mozart
won an Academy Award.
Yeah, Mozart has a great scene where he just goes, "I'm a vulgar man, but my music isn't." Right? Donald Trump is a vulgar man. It's like it shouldn't surprise anybody. In fact, if anything, he's narcissistically arrogant about just who he is. Okay, he's unapologetic, and yes, I do agree that that's not the greatest role model the kids of America should be looking up to. However, his policies on business are no more. No, not even no more. They're more functional than what we have right now as our current economic reality. As far as I can tell, I'm getting better at understanding the merits of business. So, you're welcome to bring up some talking points about that. But
yeah, let's talk about China.
Hold on a second. We wanted my analogy of Trump, right?
Yeah, I was going to bring up China.
Yeah, Trump. We'll talk about. There's plenty of time to talk about China before World War III starts. Let's stick with this, right?
Yes.
So Trump, if he just kept his mouth shut half the time, the country in an alternate universe based on the Schrodinger equation would have been, it probably would have been way more unified. That I don't doubt for a minute. But as I told an ex-girlfriend once at an Indian restaurant where we broke up officially, I think Trump is the lesser of
Whose
two evils.
idea was to go to the Indian restaurant? Yours or hers?
I think both of us. In fact, the crowd, it was weird because the staff could sense tension was brewing, in a bad way. And so they created a 15-foot radius around us where the nearest tables of couples were literally like if we had a grenade, they would have been safe, right? And I don't know, they just sensed it. This was before we even got into the talk. And all I remember is that I was this is right before the election, 2020. And I was she was asking so what's your thoughts on the election now? And I'm thinking, the way you're supposed to act side of me was we better not bring that up, right? But I'm thinking we're adults. We should be able to have these conversations because real adults don't get offended over these things. We try to ascertain the truth. And I was well, I'm a little I'll be honest with you, I'm a little iffy. And in those days, I was actually thinking about Biden. I was well, I got to do more research. But what I'd read and what I'd seen so far, that's when the laptop thing came out. I was I'm not liking that, right? I agree that Trump isn't the most again, suave person to bring people together. But I said, I hate to say this because I knew this was going to be a shit show. And I said to her, the first thing I said was, well, who are you voting for? She's it's already been done. I already sent my vote in, mail-in order, preemptive strike, without ever thinking. Of course it's got to be Biden, right? And so she sent out her vote, and that was that. She's, with like a badge of honor. She was like, "It's Biden," And she's like, "Oh, you are going to vote for Biden, right?" Like, if that's not manipulating or gaslighting, I don't know what is, but okay. And I just said,
how's that gaslighting?
Okay, maybe not gaslighting, but it's manipulating. And I was like, and I was hesitant because I knew this whole thing was going to just fucking blow up in my face. And I was just like, I got to be honest. I really, right now as it stands, I can't really say that I am 100% behind Biden. I actually think economically, Trump might be the lesser of two evils, right? Stood up, right? Her, right? It was like, what? Like just kind of like, I can't believe, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Like that scene in Star Wars where Natalie Portman's like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. You've changed, like you've turned to the dark side. And I'm just like, I'm trying to explain, no, nothing, right? And at that point, there was just loud, right? People were uncomfortable around us. You could sense the dark energy, right? And that was
how
that.
How can people be uncomfortable around you when they spread them?
Because that's how loud. Okay, she was. I want to say me too, but
so they were within grenade shot.
Yeah, they were within grenade. You know how people are like, oh, I feel very uncomfortable. I would have been entertained, but like, whatever. So that was that. I mean, we're still on good terms, but I was like, I can't believe we broke up. We basically, we ended our whatever romantic interlude we had over this bullshit. You know what the irony is, though, that this whole time, I don't, just historically speaking, the COVID, Biden, how he's faring as a president, the economic hardships that people would face, I wasn't necessarily off on that, So I don't know what to say. Like I don't wish misfortune upon people, but I'm like, let's be honest. A lot of people did not think economically the repercussions of the idealism that the Biden administration was pushing when he became president. It was like, yeah, these are nice ideals, open borders and fucking, like
open borders is a Republican myth. Democrats are not for open borders.
They're certainly not now. If you talk to the people in New York, you're absolutely right. I mean, you're hell damn right. This, if anything, shows people's true colors, right? It's easy to just spew out all these ideals when it's not actually like affecting you. That's a topic right there. That should be our next topic right here. What's his name? Eric Adams? Is that the mayor of New York? Am I thinking the right guy?
Adams.
Right. Okay. Let's talk about Eric Adams, right?
I thought you were going to save that for another episode.
Oh my God, there's so much material there. It's good stuff, man. Eric Adams. Okay. Let's see.
No.
He won his platform. Yeah, go ahead.
It was. Now he went so far off
just
the range.
So much. The world is so insane now. Like we're not going to run out of material.
No, but the thing was, you talked about Trump and his being a great businessman, which you believed, which was good for the country, but you.
Well, it wasn't like the greatest thing, but it wasn't as bad as
all of his bankruptcies.
But did his bankruptcies destroy necessarily the country during his presidency to this degree? I don't understand. And his bankruptcies, you do realize that a lot of times when you claim bankruptcy as a multimillionaire, it's a great way to get some breaks on the tax codes and stuff like that. Right? I mean, you are aware that this is kind of how
that people that his businesses are out of jobs.
I'm not saying that's ideal.
When he had,
I heard
when he acquired Trump Airlines.
I heard about the eminent domain. I get it.
The union people that he was going to take care of, in which he did not.
Okay,
and that failed.
Are we talking about we're talking about in the 90s, right?
Okay.
What about like during his presidency? I guess that's the most.
Well, he supposedly wasn't doing any business, even though.
Okay, but if he was doing business, what happened with his businesses? Well, he was supposedly not doing business as president. As he was running them through his sons, what happened to those businesses? Did they fold? What was going on?
I don't know what was going on with his businesses. I know the golf courses overall were Why you?
Well, only because like it sounds like we're insinuating that Trump was a bad president because 20 years ago he had some shady business practices.
No. You talked that the positive for Trump was he was a good businessman, which should have been translated into him being a good president and taking care of his country. But you discounted his history of bankruptcies, failing to pay vendors.
Yeah, manipulating the books, I get it.
Okay, and other stuff. I won't.
But what about during his presidency?
All right, during his presidency, let's talk about that. You
Yeah.
know, he brought he was kissing Xi from China up to what happened with COVID, and then he put tariffs on Chinese material coming in, saying China was going to pay for it.
Isn't that what technically
that's
Biden's
not-
trying to do now?
No, you gonna let me finish?
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. And it wasn't China paying for them, it was Americans who were paying the additional price, along with what we saw was China hit back agriculturally. And so we had to support farmers all over this nation because of the tariffs that he put on China with no thought of how that would affect.
Do we have food shortages during that time?
No.
Okay. Did the buying power of the U.S. dollar like really take a hit?
The dollar's strong.
Prior to
it's
home.
always been strong. It's still strong. As a matter of fact,
Well,
it's stronger.
it is semi-strong because apparently we're surfing through the shitstorm of high interest rates on credit cards and stuff pretty good. But the very fact that this all happened, and we're in this reality right now where people are really having a hard time going to dinner, multiple times like they used to, buying food without spending like a ton of money for food.
Do you understand why inflation has bounced up and the Treasury Department, or no, it's not Treasury Department. Sorry,
the Federal Reserve.
Thank you. Is increasing rates. It's
Yeah,
because
it's
people
just, in
keep
theory,
buying stuff.
saving our economy.
They're trying to get people to stop buying stuff in order to get inflation under control. People are still buying stuff.
Let me ask you this though: like, are the majority of the population not concerned about the buying power of their money in terms of cost of living, food, rent?
No doubt, and one of the reasons why is that yes, we during COVID we did have a supply problem.
Wasn't the supply problem partially because of the forced lockdowns and the force of kind of cutting the economy at the kneecaps by saying we just got to lock down, we'll just keep printing money, hope for the best, even though it ended up not doing much in the long run.
Don't even bring up printing money. You were saying, you and Poole, that all this printing of money and then that we go into a recession. Our economy is strong. Out of the G8, we have the lowest inflation rate, and it's gone down every month the last 6 months. Our unemployment is at a 40 or 50-year low.
What about the fact that the dollar may not be the world reserve currency very soon, if not already?
Again, fantasy.
Fantasy? So the idea of China and Russia and India and I guess parts of Africa and I believe some parts of the Middle East, maybe Saudi Arabia, teaming up and creating a secondary world currency isn't under Biden's, no? That was going to happen anyway.
Dollar strong yesterday. Dollars will be strong tomorrow.
And what about in a month from now, or when the attempt of now? Granted, I realize that like China and Russia, especially China, has their economic problems that they don't want people to know about.
Oh yeah.
But in reality, the attempt to create a secondary world currency,
not going to happen.
Not going to happen. Digital dollar, CBDC, surveillance, extra police state like, shenanigans to almost try.
By who?
Well, by who's pushing the idea of a central bank digital currency? Is that the Biden administration?
No,
not at all.
No.
So who's pushing it?
That's what I'm asking you. You're the one that brought it up.
Let's look this one up. Right?
Oh, gee.
Let's look this one up. Central bank digital currency. I know it's been a big.
Yeah, weren't you a big Bitcoin kind of guy?
Yeah, but Bitcoin isn't centralized by the the government one way. The whole point was it be a free market, maybe like the Old West, but like go at your own discretion.
I think I showed you the. I can't remember the name of the company in Canada that was selling Bitcoin and.
Why was Sam Bankman-Fried the second most high paying supporter of the Democratic Party?
I don't know why the Koch brothers, one of the biggest contributors to the Republican Party.
Probably because they're part of the deep state. Let's take a look. Okay, central bank digital currency launch date. Let's look at that. There's no launch date. I mean, Federal Reserve announces July launch for the FedNow service. Well, I guess that would have been, is the federal, man, I don't, let's look this up. Okay, countries have made the most progress in CBDCs. I know that the world in general, like the New World Order, if you will, wants to really push this idea. Hold it.
No. You just separated basically the NATO countries from the Middle East and
country updates. Okay, let's check
going against us.
Which countries have the most progress on CBDCs? Okay, let's see which ones are NATO countries. Australia. That's more of a NATO country, right? Or that? Well, it's not NATO, but like that's an ally of the United States. Brazil is, I think that's on our side, right? No, that's on the other side.
Well,
they're with China. Canada, China. Well, that doesn't surprise me. India, Japan.
No, you kept saying Biden. Do you see the United States?
Jordan, Kazakhstan, Laos, Montenegro, Philippines, Russia, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, Ukraine, United Kingdom, United States, last but not least. Okay.
If you could relive today, if you could look back years from now and live with the regret of not hitting a like and subscribing to the channel and help support our show by sharing with those you love, well, now's your chance to redeem that future. Tap into the fifth dimension of temporal space-time, and your future self will thank you.